You know who made it.
Live from LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, X, Twitch, and not Facebook because apparently there are errors. But while the intro was playing, I was fixing it on the Reveting Company page. So maybe we're live on Facebook. Not so sure. Let me know in the comments. I apologize if you were trying to tune on Facebook. But we are live on those other channels. So I hope you can find us. And we're going to get started because we have hot topics, hot prizes, and even hotter guests. So let's do this. First, let me start off with our quick little intro with all our prizes, let you know what's going on, and the guests, talk about our topics. But I want to ask, where's everyone tuning in from? Who do we have here tonight? It's December. He's like cramming and super busy these days. And, you know, it's just like, I feel like everyone needs to take a big, deep breath. Let's have some fun. Let's lighten up. I would love to hear from you. Please keep this conversation about you in the audience. We want your questions. We want your comments. We want your feedback. This truly is your show. We are here for you. So let's get right into it. I want to show you what you can enter to win tonight because we've got some great prizes. We've got 7 hot prizes. These are the keywords you can start entering to win as we're chatting along. And if you text to enter these keywords, this is what you're entering to win. Prize 1, #marketing. This is going to get you 1 week with the Reveting Roar program. This is taking up space. So we're meeting 4 days a week for 1 hour. Monday is marketing strategy. Tuesday is leadership. Wednesday is MarTech. Friday is LinkedIn. We've got a group of people who are all trying to level up together and supporting each other, and they're in a circle of a group LinkedIn DM actually is what it is. So it's our community. We're in a group LinkedIn DM, and we're all leveling up there. But we meet that hour, those 4 days. So come be a part of the program. We would love to have you there. Put #marketing to enter to win. And if you win this, you're also getting Kiwi Writer. So Kiwi Writer is going to be an AI tool to help you write your blogs. So blogs are, we're going to bring Joanne here in a minute. I'm sure she can talk to you about blogs as well, but they're not going anywhere, people. If you want to stay relevant, write your blogs because OpenAI is going to scan the internet again. And if you're not writing about your company, then OpenAI is not even going to know about it. So yeah, SEO, but there's a bazillion other reasons to be writing your blog. So check out Kiwi Writer, get 10 free blogs. It's really awesome. Prize 2, you're going to get 30 minutes with the DJ Kim. He is the efficiency expert. So definitely want to tag Cherry Assistant to enter to win the 30 minutes with Cherry Assistant's DJ Kim. And for prize 3, you've got 6 months with BuzzBuilder. I'm using BuzzBuilder right now, and I am sending so many emails. And You guys, there have been days I've gotten a 30% reply rate. So based on the email number of emails we're sending, like the number of people replying is crazy. So definitely check out Buzz Builder. They're doing something really interesting. It is domain rotation, but we are kind of taking a marketing perspective and using HTML and doing things a little bit differently. But check it out. Try something new. Get 6 months free. Tag Buzz Builder to enter to win this prize. You'll also get 10 hours of virtual assistant service. Anything you want. You want 10 hours of like help. You're going to want to try to Cherry Assistant. I just put a video on TikTok about how awesome Cherry Assistant is. Shout out to Renee. Renee, if you're here, thank you for all your help. And that was what my TikTok was all about, is Renee with Cherry Assistant has been a VA who's helped me get ahead of the game. So I'm not last minute on all the promotional materials all the time. She's been able to help me get ahead on things. So do yourself a favor this holiday season and get yourself a virtual assistant. Try out 10 hours with Cherry Assistant. I've tried a couple different virtual assistant services, and this is the one that's helped me the most. Cracking the cold email code. So on these cold emails that I'm sending with Buzz Builder, I'm getting help from Lydia's course. Let me bring in the awesome Lydia. What's up, Lydia? Queen. I'm putting Queen. Tell us about your course.
It's a really simple, broken down approach to using cold email. And I just wrote a post about this. Like, there's so many courses and so much advice out there, sometimes for people who aren't even really doing cold outbound anymore. And so I love to talk about the fact that I use these emails, you use these emails, a lot of people in our community use these frameworks that actually work. So if you win the free course, it's all yours.
She's so generous. Thank you so much, Lydia. And thank you for being here with us. Man, she's a queen. Can I get a shout out from Lydia in the audience? If you're not following Lydia, then like, what are you really doing? You want to go check out Lydia, see what she's doing over at the and let's get things moving. So prize 4, Luna.ai, speaking of email and speaking of AI, they've combined it together. So we've got domain rotation, again, for that volume of your email send, but they're learning from it. They've got AI to help you with your copy, and they've got a huge community of people who are working together in Slack, doing it together. So I'm really excited to be starting to use Luna myself. I'm using 3 different email tools right now, and it's been incredible. Luna.ai, you want to check it out. Get 3 months free, tag Luna. But Luna's also sharing some Grove cookies from Grove Cookie Company, which, by the way, thank you, Grove Cookie Company, for being a sponsor of Whiskey Wednesday. And I'm so excited that one winner will get to taste the best B2B cookies on LinkedIn. Hello. And then prize 5, #email. You're going to get 1 whole year free on Lavender. So definitely check it out. Another AI tool to help you with your email copy. #headset gets you a free headset. Thank you, Headset Advisor. Big thank you. I think I was just talking with Renee at Cherry Assistant, and we think this is probably the most popular prize. So Headset Advisor, thank you so much. If you haven't won a headset yet, like, let us know in the comments by putting a #headset into the hashtag or into the comments, because you can only win if you haven't won before. And that's for the headset. #sales will enter you to win our guest prizes. And you're going to see why you want these here in just a moment, because we're going to be bringing them in here. Joanne and Thomas, you're going to get to meet them. But Joanne was kind enough, actually, you can see I have my bookmark in it because I haven't finished reading it, I'll admit, but I have started. She's got this awesome book. And I actually really relate to your story. We haven't even talked about this yet, Joanne. Just living that hectic life of an executive woman trying to climb the ladder and make things happen. And boy, did she ever do that. So you're going to want to check out this book and enter to win Joanne's book here. She can tell us more about it. And then Thomas, we're getting the LinkedIn strategy session from him. And if you're not following Thomas, go follow him. He has kind of blown my mind with how he's running his business. I've been on his podcast now, and I've gone through some of his forms and funnels, and it is like automated, and like everything is done very precisely, very personalized. I am extremely impressed by everything that I've seen coming from him. So follow him. You're going to get to meet him here in a second. But next week, we have 2 more exciting, awesome guests, Arthur Castillo, as well as Austin Netzley, both coming on. So you're going to want to go over to the Whiskey Wednesday page if you're not there already and register for next week. But We're going to be getting into these hot topics really quick, and I couldn't be more excited. So let me go ahead and introduce you to Thomas and Joanne. Thank you so much for being here.
Jesse, I want to know how much coffee you've had to drink today.
I have coffee with me right now.
Let's not judge people.
Oh, well, we are so excited to have both of you here. And I don't know if I warned you, but we put a 2-minute clock up, and we're going to ask you to introduce yourself and fill the full 2 minutes. Like, people want to, yes, go ahead and pitch us. This is your chance. Pitch us with all your things. But people want to know your story, like who you are as a human, because people connect with people, not brands, not your pitch. But this is your moment. Please give this 2 minutes. Thomas, we're going to start with you. I'm pulling you up on the screen so you can stop yawning. And let us know, who are you, Thomas?
First of all, thanks for having me on. This is fun. Thomas Helfrich. I founded a company called InstantlyRelevant.com. We're an agency, but specifically we have a system in place that helps people to kind of stop guessing how to make money on LinkedIn. So if you're looking for lead generation, you're thinking too narrowly. To successfully use LinkedIn, you need a system, and you need lead generation as part of that system. I'm also an author of a book coming out, hopefully mid-spring this year, called Never Been Promoted, which is what this beautiful tie is all about, and have a podcast named the same that just launched called Never Been Promoted. But LinkedIn's where we've built a really nice way to help our customers grow their businesses consistently without that kind of brand wrecking automated spam, and we really work nicely to help people get what they need customized, to be strategic and have a sustainable, really nice brand grow, and still be able to spend some time with their families and kids and friends, but still grow a great business.
Thank you so much, Thomas. Thank you for being here. Appreciate that.
I can't wait to hear more about this tie.
Yeah, the tie is an interesting thing.
It's an icebreaker. I'll tell you that.
I'm ready.
It is. And it's like his thing. It's like on his LinkedIn. Yeah, I like it. I'm all about it. But I'm going to restart the clock now and ask you, Joanne, can you please introduce yourself to the audience?
Thank you. I don't know how I can follow. I don't quite have a voice that Tom does, but I'll do my best. So, hi, I'm Joanne Gore. I'm up here in Toronto, Canada. I am a B2B marketer who's passionate about print. I run Joanne Gore Communications. We're a full-service B2B marketing agency. We help the print industry, primarily software, hardware, manufacturing companies, and all the brands that they serve, stretch their marketing time to money, attract a new generation of business, and really go from cold calling to warm conversations, all with programs that create awareness, engagement, and growth. Bottom line, I spent 30 years as a corporate marketer, having graduated as a graphic designer. So I spent my first 10 or so years agency side, working within the print industry before I got hired by a software company in the late 80s as their print production manager. I was sort of bit by the tech bug, and like I said, spent about 30 years as a corporate marketer in the tech sector. I've, as a result, have been the victim of many mergers and acquisitions. I've lived both sides of the fence. And I realized not too long ago that I have a story to tell, and I've been through a lot, and I can recognize some of the warning signs. And if I can help share ways to take those bad situations, particularly in the corporate world, wherever you happen to be, times are tough now. So how can you take those situations, turn them into positive experiences, learn from the bad, embrace the good, and just live another day while you thrive in the chaos of life and business and everything that goes with it. So I'm really excited to talk today, and hopefully I can keep it down to my 2 minutes. There you go.
Awesome. I love that. Well, thank you both for being here. You are both very humble, because really, like, they're dynamite, y'all. They're fire. They're doing some really excellent things. So go follow them. But let's get into these topics so you can hear for yourself. We're going to be talking about who owns the CRM, sales, marketing, or IT. I would love to hear from everyone in the audience. Who owns the CRM, sales, marketing, or IT? But I'm going to pass this one over to you, Joanne. Can you kick us off here?
Yeah, this has been a topic near and dear to my heart, particularly again in that corporate world, working for software companies, for companies with highly regulated infrastructures where you're managing data for other people in particular. IT is responsible for keeping the company safe. And as a result, that infrastructure typically includes the CRM and the ERPs. So it's their responsibility to ensure compliance. But marketing is the one who needs the data in order to create those really hyper-personalized marketing campaigns and programs. But the data is only good as is entered by the sales team when they're following up on the awesome leads that marketing gives them. So needless to say, everybody has their hands in the pie. In my experience, the most successful I've seen CRM management is when it's a dotted line between all three. So you have, let's say, sales and marketing operations, really ensuring the data hygiene of the CRM, but you have IT ensuring its health, that it is up to date, that it's integrating with all of the various tentacles that we require. My question to all of you guys is, what do you think? So let's leave a 1 in the comments if you think it belongs to marketing, 2 if you think it belongs to sales, and 3 if you think it belongs to IT. So I'm really curious to see what pops up in the comments there. Again, 1 for marketing, 2 for sales, 3 for IT. D, none of the above. Lydia, who do you think owns the data in the CRM?
I think it's a combination. Well, owning is a very precise word. I think everyone has a responsibility for cleanliness and hygiene. But like, I couldn't do it without my demand gen counterpart, and I couldn't do it without the field sales counterparts. So everybody has like the part that they should contribute to.
But who's responsible for actually making sure that the data? So for example, typical in most corporate companies, and you guys raise your hands or leave a comment if you agree, but you might have 10 records all for the same person from the same company. But somebody may have entered it in as the Acme Corporation, Acme Corporation, Acme Corp, the Acme Corp, John Smith, J. Smith, J. Smith at Acme Corp. So
maybe RevOps?
Who makes sure that it's
the
right?
CEO.
Is it the CEO, the CTO, question, right? The CMO?
I think it depends on the size of your organization, because CRM could stand for could really matter, because bigger organizations need a person lined up to do the data coverage, like to make sure it's right, and to herd some cats, right? Salespeople, marketing people make sure the stuff's together. In a smaller organization, usually CRMs fail because you don't have someone lined up to it, and so it's a waste of money. So that's why I say it could matter, might not have one. It depends. It really does. I think ultimately, though, it is a split responsibility in marketing and sales, with whoever has the direct report that is the cat herder ultimately has the finger on it. Not IT. 100% no. On that one.
Not IT.
Maybe 120% no. I don't actually, because you're running the software, so they really don't have any.
But who implement? But the department that actually implements the software is going to be IT.
Oh man. Wrong CRM then. Definitely need cloud-based.
Yeah.
When
I was at Keysight's 40 to 50,000 employees, or about 40, 50,000 employees. We had a specific CRM team. They owned it. And they were kind of an overlay. The last couple startups, it's sort of been a combination of whoever wants to take ownership, whoever has the bandwidth to fix things when they come across it, and to write run books so that everybody's doing the same thing. I think a lot of dependencies. What's your answer? I'm curious, Joanne.
To me, it should be a co-ownership between sales and marketing, but absolutely 100% shared. So when we had sales and marketing operations, they had a dotted line report into marketing and sales, because sales is concerned with the lead and the life cycle journey from the time they pick up the baton and run with it. Marketing wants to know the quality of the lead source. Where did the lead originate from? And if that's not being filled in, then you don't know where to spend your marketing dollars. So at the end of the day, marketing is using the CRM to measure success of marketing campaigns, and sales is often using CRM to track sales pipeline. So they're two very, very different objectives. They're measuring very different line items. And as a result, the information that's being fed to that system is not always the same. And hence you get that friction. So again, plus with automation and a lot of these inputs to the CRM happening automatically from a website, from lead entry forms and whatnot, you have to ensure that all of the different funnels that you're feeding that information to, those templates are set up so that those people who need to track information are actually able to get the information they need to track to make the smart decisions moving forward.
I think, though, the marketing function is the relationship management for purposes of email, nurturing, etc. The other parts of the pipeline should inform where they should be in the CRM cycle. So, hey, they're a deal, they lost, whatever. And this is where the problems I kind of have with CRMs is that sometimes they're trying to do too much. So just give me something that has relationship, that has hooks into your pipeline, pipe drive, whatever it is. And if you don't have it kind of separated from responsibilities, that you keep sales data and sales data from deal flow, where they are in deal flow determines what we're sending them from nurturing, from a marketing. And they are separate. They may be found in the same system, but one should not be touching the other, in my, I'll call it, humble opinion.
It's all interesting stuff. But I still want to know what the audience thinks. So let's search through. So it looks like AP is asking a question. Can we have a team, but one for each department, sales, marketing, etc., put part of CRM management to serve as a cat herder? What of that idea? Any thoughts there, Thomas?
I got to read. Hold on. Can we have a team, one for each department? Yeah. I mean, if you got budget, sure, line some people up. Let's do this. I think, though, this is a good use case for AI, though. Honestly, I think if you look to the forward, I think an AI that has good context based on what you're trying to align to goals, this is a good use case for AI data to say this is where it's weak. These all seem the same. Let's go ahead and group those. Removing a human out of this with technology would be a very good part of a future CRM. And I think that's what will happen, to be fair, because it's one of the biggest pain points is what we're discussing. So remove the human from it, let AI make the good decisions based on business logic, rules, context, relevance. And I think it'll be simplified, and it'll be a big cost savings for a lot of
There's
companies.
some good, it's like we need a lean data on steroids. That lean data is pretty cool.
What I find shocking is the number of companies that don't even have a CRM today.
Oh my gosh.
Still, I cannot tell you. I have conversations. Oh, we need more leads. We need to redo our website. And we go down this whole thing. And I've learned now from having gone too far down the path, only to find out they have no way to collect or manage any of the leads. It's like, oh, okay, let's roll the clock back. But bare bones basics. Do you have a CRM? And if not, let's start there and figure out why and how we're going to start tracking those leads. And more importantly, what does a lead look like? What is it that we want it to do? That's the bigger question, right? What is a lead? And it's going to be different things to different people, to different departments based on their, goals, based on the company's goals, and everything else that goes along with it.
I love that Mark Mack says he had a CRM when he was a one-man company. I'm a one-woman show here. I have a CRM. Like, come on, people, get into like.
Does MailChimp count?
I mean, yeah, I feel like
that
does. Yeah.
I am.
I'd say now it can.
I saw that
a little more robust.
Mark Mack already kind of took us into our next topic, which is topic 3, like after topic 2, which I just put on the screen about data hygiene. It comes down to that. And we're going to be getting into that here in just a second, Mark Mack. So good thought. But before we do, Thomas, can you kick us off on how to stop guessing to get leads? And I mean, I guess first of all, we have to define what the heck is a lead. So, but how do we stop guessing to get leads and start actually making money on LinkedIn? Like, who here in the comments wants to make money? Because everyone out there is just, I think, posting to post sometimes because I don't see any strategies happening. But I would love to hear from you, Thomas. How do we actually go make money?
Yeah. In the comments put in there, kind of, I'd ask you as I'm speaking, what is your actual goal of being on any social media at all, or on go bigger, broader, on digital? The way you stop guessing is by stop looking for every shortcut possible and understand there are no shortcuts. To understand that you have to have a strategy, you have to have perseverance, and you're going to need to be able to execute a system in place. If your only goal is to get leads, you're going to fail. You're going to be in a sawtooth situation where you're going to be, did that work? Did it not work? I got money. I got a client. I don't have a client. And if you've been a solopreneur or a small company, it's the worst because you can't budget when you're up and down on money. So if you don't have a system in place that absolutely defines who your profile of one customer is, and you know why that person is, and it's not everybody, it's very niche, you know what it is, and you can create content then that is relevant to them, to that profile of one. You set up your profiles and your company image and all the stuff you're doing to be altruistic, to be in service of that profile of one. If you don't have that kind of core fundamental thing nailed down, you're going to be guessing on how you're getting leads. Because if you don't know that, you don't know what people are going to want to see, or if you're chasing vanity metrics, you're definitely going to be guessing because you're chasing the wrong things. You're thinking about things wrong. And if you're going through your lead generation and you're like, oh, I'm using automation, I'm doing sequencing, you're bleeding your brand. So once again, you're guessing because you're just spamming. And so profile of one, go back to that. Know who it is you want and why, and do everything you can to serve that profile of one, even from your reach outs, from the comments you make, from the messages you send. Be intentional the whole way. And it probably is a caveat, right? This is really for sales cycles that require know, like, trust, that require relevance to accelerate that, to be the catalyst to build that. And you'll stop guessing once you really know why it is you're selling what you are and what these people and how it serves the people you're working with. But then even after you have a lead, you better have differentiators in place through some kind of like signature solution or offer. You need solid offer theory as well. So like what the pricing is, what the guarantees are, all these pieces. And then finally, you need a way to capture that referral type of machine. You need to make sure that the people that you're serving and doing really well are giving you feedback about your own systems, your own process, your own services, and they're very comfortable referring. And when you do that, you're no longer guessing. You have a predictable system in place that produces customers that those customers therefore produce for you. And that whole goal isn't about how many likes I got today, how many views. We've done posts that have gotten 500,000 views and 22,000 some likes or something, and very little business from it. I know when we switch to this idea that I just described with profile one and relevance, we can get 100 views on a post, which seems terrible, but I'll get 8 meetings from it. It's because it was written, and the content and the outreach was all about those 8 posts, or those 100 people that liked it. 8 of them were like, oh, I need that right now. That's a much better way to approach it. It's a little lower volume, not terribly less. It's much more effective.
Wow. That's
I
interesting.
didn't read the comments while I was doing it. I am a guy that cannot multitask. I just
That's
so
okay.
I missed. But that's how you stop guessing. You have a system in place that's repeatable. That's all about that, starting with that profile of one.
And the goal, I liked in the beginning how you asked everybody, what's your goal? I feel like a lot of people in my coaching program, I'll ask them that, why are you here? What are you trying to accomplish on LinkedIn or online in general? And sometimes people don't know. And so just get clear there and then work yourself backwards. Like he said, make a repeatable process. And Thomas, what people are commenting about is that they can't comment on LinkedIn. So LinkedIn for the 4th week in a row, apparently is having issues. So if you are on LinkedIn, tag them and let them know to fix their live stream comments because this keeps happening. So people who are commenting are on YouTube now. I'll share all the links. So Facebook had an error. So YouTube is really the place to be entering to win tonight if you're having any issues with LinkedIn. Otherwise, maybe try refreshing LinkedIn. But I don't know. Lydia,
I was reading that. I'm like, no, commenting really does work really well to connect with people. I'm like, I disagree with that. I was going to get the first disagreement, but you're just talking like right now. So
yeah, like right now, LinkedIn,
I just tagged him.
The live stream comments. I don't know why. Once you're about 10, 15 minutes into the live stream.
So if you have a big YouTube following, you definitely have to follow Never Been Promoted, which explains the tie. At Never Been Promoted.
There you go. Yeah, we've got some folks.
I'm doing a midstream plug. Didn't sponsor the event, just so you know. Never Been Promoted did not sponsor this.
And I'm not going to ask you live if you will sponsor it.
I will. Don't worry.
Oh, well, look at you.
Here's my checkbook. Oh.
Well, good thing.
With the other half of your tie.
Right.
Yeah.
You can literally just go to reveting.com/sponsorships and sponsor. And I did, Pat, now that you just mentioned that, I totally glimpsed over the sponsorship announcement at the beginning. I'm excited. In a couple weeks, I will be announcing the biggest sponsor to Whiskey Wednesday's history. We have our first annual sponsor in 2024 from a tool that I can't wait to tell you about, but I can't yet, so I'm not going to. But if you'd like to get in on those sponsorships, it is not too
We only
late.
have a couple spots left, so you guys better hurry.
We are helping people actually get users on their software tools. We are actually helping coaches get clients.
Acquisitions,
Yep. We had a company this year credit their being acquired to Whiskey Wednesday. So it was pretty powerful. Thank you. But I want to keep going on this topic. And I would love Joanne's take on what Thomas was saying in terms of making money on LinkedIn and creating repeatable processes. What can you educate our listeners about?
So there's a few things that Tom, you said that I was just nodding my head. And first and foremost, and you nailed it, you really need to know the way I position it is, who do you help, how do you help, and why does it matter? Because if you can't answer those questions, then you're wasting your marketing dollars, you're wasting your marketing time, because you never will be able to measure properly what succeeded and what doesn't. When you can answer those questions, then you can figure out which social media channels to be on, because you should be where they are, not where you want to be. Now, from a B2B perspective, absolutely LinkedIn is the number one channel for the majority of companies. For some, maybe not, but let's just go with your B2B company, you're on LinkedIn. And again, Tom, you nailed it when you said, if you're here just to get leads, you're never going to be happy. And that's true. LinkedIn is about having conversations, because the fact is that most business buyers today do not want to talk to a salesperson until they're at the very end of their journey of their prospect journey, before they're ready to make a decision. That means they're doing the majority of their research online. They're downloading content. They're looking for referrals. They're looking towards their network. They're looking at groups. And if you want to get in front of them when they're ready to make that buying decision, you have to have been part of that conversation at the upfront. So that means not selling and not pitching, but actually helping and paying attention to the challenges that your buyer is facing. Then you can become part of the conversation. You can share ideas, you can share tips, you can share videos, you can share links to awesome LinkedIn Lives like Whiskey Wednesdays, and they're going to remember that. So when it is time for them to make a decision, or one of their colleagues comes up to them and says, hey, do you know somebody who XYZ? They're going to turn around and say, well, actually, yeah, there's this person on LinkedIn who I've been following, and oh my God, they're amazing. You have to check them out. You have to check out their company. That's what LinkedIn does. And in my opinion, when you actually understand the value it brings in that sort of prospect to customer journey, and know where it fits in and how to use it to engage your prospects, that's when you're going to win on LinkedIn.
Nailed it.
I was on mute.
Well, I did this the other day. I've perfected this. Ready? Mic drop.
Okay.
Maybe why your mic was cutting out a little bit earlier, because you're dropping it too much.
Was it cutting out?
I mean, there was a quick moment. I thought it was because I turned on background music, so I turned it off. So I don't know if it was my background music. It was maybe the background music.
I don't think it's
One
my
more
mic.
thing.
I think it's probably the internets and being on lines.
Maybe.
Yes.
On the line.
All the
line.
internet,
Easy.
those Tubi things.
When you were saying, you ask people what are their goals, and sometimes they have problems answering. What I've started doing is, instead of saying, what are your goals? What do you want to achieve? Instead, I say, how will you measure success?
Yes.
Same thing.
Same
But
thing.
then they're really forced to think, well, I don't know. Well, how will you decide if it's worth paying for this next time?
100%.
So just ask the question differently, even if you have to ask yourself. If you can't, just reframe it. And then oftentimes you'll be able to really dig into the meat of and the root of the issue.
100%. And Jesse, I'm sorry, but this is such a cool thing you do with AI. This is a great use case for GPT. So I just want to set a small credentialing. My background's intelligent automation and AI systems. And if you Google AI nerd, you'll see a bunch of boring videos about me talking about AI. But the point being is, if you use these technologies like that to say, what is the point? How do I ask that? What are the things? And you talk to the AI that way to get to where you are, you'll find what you're going to need to know to be able to answer that question. And just have a conversation with something that's smarter than you, that's looked at every possible answer on the planet. And then if you don't like any of them, the one that makes sense will come to you. But share that with AI so it can give you a perspective. Great use case for AI to determine that first step of building a business.
It's all brilliant. And I need to cut to intermission here. But before I do, I want to leave the audience with this because I would love to hear from you. I see you, Sarah Rodriguez. I see Sarah Hanks in here. I see Mark Mack. I see Lauren, Virginia. If you're here, Carrie, I would love to know, what is the KPI that you use to measure your success on LinkedIn? So if you can, let's just put that into the universe right now. Think about that. What is your goal on LinkedIn? If you can't answer that, one clear answer. What is the KPI you are using to measure success? So please comment away. We'll get into that here in just a moment, right after these messages.
If you have a business or a side project, you need a virtual assistant. If you want free time or fun time, you need a virtual assistant. Virtual assistants can do everything from answering emails, managing your calendar, or even calling your mom. I run my own agency, I have e-commerce stores, and I still have time to travel, hang out with friends and family, and even pick up new hobbies because my virtual assistants take up my day-to-day work. If you're interested in trying out virtual assistant, play our game with Whiskey Wednesdays and enter the prize to see if you win 10 hours with one of our best virtual assistants. Thanks, Whiskey Wednesdays, for having us.
Hey, Whiskey Wednesday. This is Steven, and I'm one of the founders and CEO of Luna.ai. A bit about us. Luna is an all-in-one B2B sales platform, meaning that we're using AI to find your perfect leads, scour the entire internet to find every piece of information there is to find, and then use this information to write mind-blowing sales emails. And they're not just random emails, because Luna learns from all of your feedback and all of your preferences to write emails just like you would have done it yourself. And the best part is, as soon as you've trained Luna enough, you'll unlock autonomous mode, meaning that Luna will start reaching out to prospects on your behalf. Well, we are super excited to be part of Whiskey Wednesday, and we're looking forward to welcoming a few lucky viewers and have them win a premium account with us. And if you're not one of these lucky viewers, no problem at all, because we also have a free plan which you can use to take Luna for a spin. See you soon.
Hey there! In this video, I'm going to show you how to build a WordPress website using the Divi theme. So years ago, when I first wanted to build a website, I was so lost when trying to figure out what I needed, which settings were important, and what tools to use. I really wanted someone to walk me through step by step and to show me which buttons to push. I was able to find someone to support me through that, and I wanted to extend that same level of support to you to help you get started on the right foot. So in this video, we're going to go over how to connect your domain and hosting, installing WordPress, installing a premium theme that I love called Divi, and important plugins that I install on every single website, and then what settings to use for those plugins as well as the theme. So if at any point you're thinking to yourself, it would be so cool if someone would just do this for me, you can just pause the video at that point and scroll down so you see my guided DIY package. And I'm happy to set all this up, plus assist you as you build your website.
What's up, Whiskey Wednesday? Anish here from the Wishley Group. Huge shout out to Jesse and team for what you built here. It's truly special. I'm one of the founding members of Rev Genius. Took us from 0 to 5,000 members. And now I get to work with folks like Morgan Ingram and Kevin Dorsey on scaling out their business operations. And that's exactly what the Wishley Group's about. We help small, medium-sized companies scale out their businesses by helping them out with sales and marketing efforts. That's really what we're about. And we know a lot of folks in this audience are those revenue professionals. You're either a founder, a marketer, a sales leader, or sales rep even. And we know that everyone has their own fair share of struggles. For those who don't know, I'm also ex-Pinterest and ex-Coca-Cola. I worked with some of the biggest accounts in the world, closed $50 million in B2B high-ticket sales just myself. Really appreciate you having me here, and cheers, everybody. Have fun.
Big thank you to all of our sponsors and for everyone for supporting this show. We really appreciate you believing in us, and we believe in you too. So real quick, big thank you to BuzzBuilder, Luna.ai, the Wishley Group, Cherry Assistant, and Grove Cookie Company for making Q4 one of the best quarters. I'll say the best quarter on Whiskey Wednesday yet, but get ready for 2024. But before we do that, I'm looking in the comments. Did you all put in your KPI? How are you measuring success on LinkedIn? This was the question we asked before the break. And if you haven't put it in there, I would love to know from whoever the sexy voice guy is on YouTube. Let us know. How do you measure your, oh, that's you. That's you. Okay.
Oh, it's nice, baby. Mark made a comment earlier, and I just wanted to dive right into that and just tell him how smooth Mark Mack is.
Mark Mack, did you hear that? Yeah, you're getting the sexy talk too, Mark Mack.
It's nice.
I love
I'll
that.
talk to you later.
But Carrie says KPI for LinkedIn. When new people comment on my post, the best thing I do for this is do a survey every Wednesday. The number of voters seems to increase each week. But I'm still wondering, Carrie, what's your goal on LinkedIn? Are you trying to get a job? Are you trying to make money? Are you trying to get leads? Like, what's your KPI to measure? So let's see. Whoa, Luna sounds awesome. Luna is awesome, Sarah. You're going to want to check that out. Did anyone else give me a KPI? This is hard. Mark Mack, what's your KPI for LinkedIn? I think you're here to make money, but I don't know. Tell me if I'm wrong. I don't know. But let's get into topic 3 while you all are still thinking about your KPIs. We said we'd get to data hygiene, and we're going to do it. Let's clean up some data. Y'all are messy AF out there with your data and all your different ways of entering things. Let's define those fields and enter it the right way. What do you say, Joanne? Can you kick us off on this?
So I think, it's we can talk for hours just on data hygiene. So I'm going to take you all back to a time we're all trying to forget really hard. And that was the time of COVID, when everybody was at home and we needed to communicate with our customers and our prospects. And that was really when a lot of companies had that aha moment, because they weren't able to. They weren't able to get in touch with the right people. They didn't have addresses. They didn't have email addresses, and in trouble. Going back to what I said earlier about not even having a CRM, it's so important. Personalization, having personalized experiences is one of the number one requirements for customer satisfaction. They want to know about them. For example, if you're an insurance company and you sold somebody car insurance, or somebody just bought a motorcycle and you sold them motorcycle insurance, well, your offer to them then when you send them direct mail isn't going to be about car insurance if they own a motorcycle. And you should know that. And it makes you look foolish. And there are a lot of companies out there who are not paying attention to the data. And the marketers are doing their best to create these personalized, customized journeys that are not just digital, but they're true omni-channel. They're reaching out on text. They're reaching out on social. They're reaching out through direct mail. Don't even get me started on the hygiene and direct mail, and email marketing.
Oh, gosh.
And the experiences are horrific, because it's like all these different messages are coming from all these different channels. They're not cohesive. They're not going to the same places. One says one thing, one says another. And it's like, you wonder, doesn't anybody talk to anybody? And it all comes back to the CRM and ensuring that the data that you're collecting is the data that you need in order to be successful with what you want it to do. Coming back again, how do you measure success? Why are you doing this program? Are you trying to communicate with your customers? Then you better know enough about them to not sound like some form letter. So that's just the start of it all. But hyper-personalization, customer experience, and the ability to do things quicker and leaner. That's why you need it.
Yes. And I love that you brought up data hygiene with direct mail, because let me just tell you, I started my career on political campaigns and we loved a good piece of direct mail. We would send it to millions, it felt like. Really, no, it was hundreds of thousands of people. And you get one row off and everything shifts. So you have the wrong name with the wrong address. Do you know how much money that is? Like, think of a cost per stamp. Not only that, for hundreds of thousands of pieces of mail, the cost to print it, like all of it gets so expensive. Like, clean your data, people. But yeah, I don't know. What's your take on all of this, Thomas and Lydia? Thomas, we'll start with you. Tell us your thoughts.
I was going to definitely give the floor to Lydia on that. Yeah, data. Well, it depends on what size company you are. Once again, so the need to have clean data is probably not as important for a solopreneur or smaller company as it is for a much larger company. But it's also much harder in its own way for the bigger company because of what you're trying to collect and how you do it. But if you're going to be leveraging for cost effectiveness, like in the example you said for direct mail, or just creating the right kind of analytics and metrics for your data so an AI could be involved in that, the data needs to be as tight and real as possible and clean and relevant if you can. So it's really critical, specifically in the future. And maybe we'll fast forward 3-5 years where more and more data systems are going to be at the core of how you make decisions and at speed. And so the larger companies know this, they're getting prepared for it. Smaller companies, this is where this trickle down effect is going to be, because how AI is trending, it's done through a chat now, right? So imagine if you can get your data for a small company correct, you'll have some powers that normally would have only been available to a bigger company. So it's super important to have some processes and mechanisms in place to keep it as clean as possible.
Lydia, what's your take here?
It's tough. It's a community effort. I think there are, limitations to things you can use for automation and tools because smaller companies have smaller budgets. It doesn't mean it's any less important, but it's definitely harder to do. I think little things like we just implemented a required sub status for disqualification so that we can better understand why things are being disqualified. And when you make that a required, people can't just skip over it. So little things like that, where you don't want to have the gaps, you can kind of build workflows around. But I mean, it's an ongoing thing that you just have to stay on top of.
So I threw in the chat about Christmas cards because I'm going through it myself. I'm a small company, but I still send out. I am one of those that believes in sending out greeting cards. And by the time we're done with the corporate card, the gifts and the cards, I'm sending out probably close to 100 cards. So I need to know, I don't want to have to be typing in labels all the time. I want to be able to just upload my sheet, send it out to my Avery Labels, have it print out, bing, bang, boom, we're done. And I also want to know, well, who did I send stuff out to last year? And what did I send them last year? And did they get the pot holders or did they get the chocolate? And that can all be tracked in your database. And it makes it so much easier. The first time is going to be really like anything else. The first time you do it, like you'd rather get your like eyelashes pulled out of your eyes by a chicken, right? But then it's just so easy afterwards because it's all set up. You've been through the hell and back. And then every year it's like, okay, this is what we did. Let's refresh the list. Did somebody move? Great, bing, we're done. And that's nothing compared to the day-to-day interactions that can be tracked and that can be then used to further relationships, go deeper, improve your share of wallet within companies, and just get more business because you remembered that somebody was allergic to dogs and somehow you made a note of that. And so when you have a conversation with them, you can refer to that. That's just all part of that whole ecosystem.
Man, yeah.
Speaking of Christmas cards, I got a really fun one from Sam Nelson today with a picture of him and his family. It was really sweet. He runs the SDR Leader community. Actually, we got to get him on here, Jesse. I'm going to send him a message. But if you know Sam, tag him in the comments. You're much more thoughtful than me, Joanne. Chocolate and pot holders. I don't even do cards anymore.
Yeah, that's awesome.
In fact, I think, gosh, my husband and I, after we got married, we took like 6 months to send our thank you cards, and it was almost to the point where it's like, gosh, do we still do this? Like, it feels really, but yeah, I'm horrible at that stuff.
So that's actually a really great B2B marketing. I don't know if you guys have done this, but just have thank you cards printed out. You can have your logo very small, subtle in the back or something. Don't make it about your brand. Make it about saying thank you for anything and everything. And that's what people remember. They remember getting that physical card in the mail. When you touch something, the memory that's implanted in your brain lasts a lot longer than when you just read it on a screen. So as soon as you put your logo into somebody's hands, the longer they hold it, the more they will remember that experience. And that just shortens the number of touches you require. That's why direct mail has made such a great comeback.
If you guys give me 1 second, I'll show you somebody, a partner of ours sent me. So I'm going to grab it because this was the deal for me.
Go grab it. I want to see that. I was going to ask you, Lydia, go grab your Christmas card too, that you were just talking about with Sam Nilsson. I don't know if it's around. But...
I left it in the car.
During our conversation, he said, "Hey, do you like cigars?" I was like, "No, I don't do that. It's like I'm more of a fisherman." And he's like, "Oh, okay." A few weeks later, this thing shows up, a fishing lure with our logo on it.
How cool is that?
And I was like, and it didn't say who it was from. I was like, well, that's pretty clever of that company to go to my website, pull a thing, and send me a fishing lure. I'm not sure how they knew that, but I have questions because that's pretty damn cool. And so I happened to just be in a conversation during his pitch and said, "Man, look at this! What somebody sent me." He's like, "I sent that to you," and I was like, "Well, you forgot to put your email." But this is amazing. Like that was a really thoughtful thing that now it's on my kind of like wall thing over here of like little trinkets and things that of like that is. I want to go do that more often because that is so cool. So you're spot on, and it was just kind of like a passing conversation, and I like what he did there. So we ended up hiring him for some stuff. So I was like, well done.
I love that. Yep. Send stuff in the mail, people. I know.
Post office will lose it or steal it. I'm going to throw it out there. Should we go down that path in a minute? If you'd like to.
Yeah.
And if you need like a really easy way to send something, go to Grove Cookie Company, Google, Bing them, go to their website. They make it very
doesn't like
easy.
Cookies?
Yeah, they're the best cookies. They're literally, I call them B2B cookies because they're business to business cookies because only businesses can afford. No, I'm just kidding. No, but only they're delicious and they're not that expensive. I think it's
they're not.
I could be wrong. Don't quote me, but I think it's like $14 for an actual box. But you get and they put whoever you're sending it to, they'll put their logo on it, just like you saw it. It's really neat.
A little personal note, yeah.
Yeah, check out Grove Cookie Company. But we still have lots of prizes to give away.
Thanks.
Yes, you need some. We need to get some cookies up in here, but we've got 1 entry for #marketing. We've got 1 entry for Cherry Assistant, 2 for Buzz Builder, 2 for Luna, 1 for email, 5 for the headset, and 2 for sales. So again, marketing, you're getting 1 week of my program, a blog tool, Cherry Assistant, you're getting 3 minutes with the DJ Kim. And then prize 3 is Buzz Builder. That's 6 months cold email, everybody. So get the domain rotation. Let's get it going. And you're getting Lydia's course and 10 hours of a free virtual assistant service. They'll do anything for you. What do you need? So tag and win these prizes. Let's go. So I'm going to move us into topic 4. Thomas, everybody wants to know, what is the LinkedIn revenue system?
And at the risk of sounding pitchy, I've explained part of it. It's very much so tied to what I was explaining before, that to stop guessing, you need a system. So we have a system in place. I'm sure it's not perfect, but nothing in this world is. And so maybe I'd tell you is have a system of some sort, something that's repeatable, and something for LinkedIn specifically that focuses once again on that profile of one, but also in a way that is not about you. It's about them and serving them in the service of them. And your system needs to take you through kind of a 3-phase approach. And I'll explain this to you. You need to really think about how you set up LinkedIn to be very intentional, not passive. And the kind of 3 phases we take our customers through is a core phase, a connect phase, and a convert phase. Core phase being becoming relevant, the credentialing. This is where you discover who your profile of one is. You set your strategies. You figure out what kind of content you create, the different forms, what's going to work and why. And then additionally, you in that core phase, you're also figuring out kind of what your profile should look like. What are you going to communicate? Like, what do you do for people? That's super important, because when you interact with people on LinkedIn specifically, and specifically when you're systematic about it, your profile, your content, all this becomes a billboard. It becomes the advertising vehicle of which people become interested in you. So it's super important to be in service, altruistic in that setup. The second part in connecting is do less automated sequencing. And I'd even argue stop doing automation completely. There's a place for it, but it's nowhere in when you're doing lead generation and prospecting and you're trying to build a network. Take the time to actually go out there and go give real thoughtful comments, questions, focused dialogue when you actively engage on other people's posts. Create your content posts, but go give attention to others. Here's a cool thing about the social media algorithm you might realize. You're limited on messages. Probably know that. You're limited on connection requests. You also know that. You are not limited, though, on how many comments you can give on other people's posts. You're not limited on engaging and giving attention to others.
So
Expose
underrated.
that part of the algorithm. That works across every social media algorithm. It's one of the core social media platforms. It's one of the core tenets of every one of the social media algorithms is go interact, go give people attention. And if you do it in a non-spammy way, meaning you're being thoughtful, you're adding value to the conversation, you're driving a conversation that's it's more of a focused dialogue than conversation. You're doing exactly what people want to happen, which is get attention. Feel good that you paid attention. And then they will pay it back. So pay it forward in that regard. And then when you convert somebody from a lead, do it gently, do it softly, do it in a way that is, it's taking somebody in a way that you're showing value the whole time, and you set the whole system and your whole piece up to know that you're going to over deliver. So taken from, what you're going to do for them, make sure it's priced in a way that drives value. It's not cheap. It's not overpriced because you think they pay more. Do it because it's right price, right value that you can build a business from. But finally, over-deliver a little bit for them. Add some things in there that they wouldn't have expected. And when you do that, you'll create a referral system and just in that process of doing it. That's the system. And develop your own, use ours. I put what we do out there in an image. Take it, play with it, go have fun with it. We have customers all the time. I'll meet with them for 30 minutes and they'll come back a month later and be like, hey, I fired my email company. We're just doing our version of what you told me. I'm like, great. That's what I want you to do. And that's the whole point. And if you want to get in the weeds on this other stuff, they hire us. But the point is, go build a system, repeat it, and you'll be on your way to really driving revenue via any social media. But specifically, this works for LinkedIn very well.
Yes. And actually, Thomas, if you remember, that's how I met you. Is I made a post on 9/11 of me visiting the the twin, what is it called? The Freedom Tower now. Mm-hmm. And you commented on it, a very nice comment. And then from that, we met. So like people, these things work. And also I'll give you a suggestion that before you post, try to go comment on like 10 people's posts. Because I guarantee you, whoever you're commenting on, they're going to see your post as soon as it comes up on your feed. So I notice that all the time. And I'm commenting on someone comments on my stuff, then I'm going to see their post. So just get out there and engage. Give. Don't automate your comments, though. I will tell you, do not automate these functions. It's so obvious when it happens.
There's lots so of tech. Obvious.
Yeah, it's so tech and it's so disingenuous. I'm not saying you can't leverage VAs. I'm only on LinkedIn about an hour a week, but do about 5,000 comments a month. So we can talk through how we pull that off, and that's part of what our system delivers. That's a note to tweak. How does he do that? Because I'm in sales meetings all week because of our system. So the point being is there are ways to scale this, and none of it's automated. And I assure you that it's less expensive than ads. But you can do it on your own without losing your mind as well. So there's ways AI plays in with that, but you have to contact me to learn that one.
Wait, can we hear about the tie before we run out of time?
Yes.
The tie?
Yeah.
Cut the corporate tie is the idea. So unleash your entrepreneur. It's never been promoted. I cut the tie to corporate.
Got it.
Right?
Very creative.
The mic's in the way. And so it's kind of the brand for Never Been Promoted for the book I read. It's 50 entrepreneur life lessons to unleash your entrepreneur. And so it's entrepreneurs helping entrepreneurs. That's the whole idea, is learn from others. Here's all the stuff I wish I would have known. And, when you're crying in a corner, because you hate your job, and then
Can you
became
put
an
the link?
entrepreneur. Like, holy cow, this is harder than I expected, and there's a lot of pressure I didn't expect. And man, I wish I wouldn't have bought this giant ass house and that giant ass mortgage. And good thing my Honda beat up ass minivans paid off. Like that kind of stuff. Like, yeah, I mean, I'm not saying I'm telling you really what's happening in my life, but maybe it's a white minivan and it's beat up.
As long as it doesn't say free candy on the outside.
Actually, my license plate is well, the DMV thinks it means high occupancy vehicle and old. It says Hovno. And if you Google Hovno, my wife is from Slovakia. That's a direct translation to shit.
Oh, well, there you go.
There you go. That's my humor playing
Cut
out.
your
So I can
tie,
always,
cut the shit, whatever. Just
right. Just the idea is I can always spot the Slovak or Czech because they take a picture of my license plate every time.
You gotta love it. Oh my gosh, this was an awesome episode. We're getting some awesome. I want to hear more from the comments in the chat. I was just looking at this, like someone. Oh, Carrie was asking, what do they win if they win prize 7? So that is the guest prizes. So could both of you tell everybody really quick about the prize that you so graciously shared with our audience today? Joanne, can you tell them about your book?
Yeah, sure. So, thanks, Jesse. Yeah, Thriving in Chaos, Lessons Learned as a Corporate Marketer. So, started off as just my story, and halfway through, I realized, who gives a shit? So, I decided to work it backwards and like, okay, I have all these really unique experiences. I want to share my experience, what I learned from it, and what I hope I can impart on other people who may potentially be experiencing everything from bullying at work to being passed up for promotions, trying to rise the corporate ladder, suddenly being faced with being laid off. How do you spot the signs? What can you do? All of that stuff that, once you've lived through it, you know what it is, and you don't really want to wish that on anybody. And then on the same side, how to celebrate some of the great things that happened, and how to really embrace and tame and thrive in your own chaos.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that with the audience. It's a signed copy of the book coming your way if you put #sales and you win. And then Thomas, they're also getting a LinkedIn strategy session with you. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is like a 30-minute meeting for us to discuss your goals, objectives, what you define as successful, and learn about, if you want to, I could just listen to you talk for 30 minutes, or you can ask questions about our system and how it might apply to you, your call. But I will go through and give you some just candid feedback about what I'm seeing, what you're telling me, what I view on your profiles, and I'll look at your websites and a few other channels, just to give you a really, like, this is what people see. This is probably how they're interpreting it, and maybe a suggestion or two of things you can go do to immediately improve that, and ask you about your outreach and some other pieces, just so I can have a perspective of what you're doing. But you'll find it in high value. I do it a few hundred times a month, a few thousand times a year. So I'll get you a lot of value in 30 minutes if you're willing to spend your time with me.
That's awesome. Well, let's get into giving these prizes away. But we also have to do the Guru of the Week. So I'll give you guys like 2 more seconds, because I see people are putting #sales now that you're talking about the prize. The Guru of the Week. So who do we think the Guru of the Week is going to be? We've got 2, because Thomas picked one and Joanne picked one. So I'm going to do drum roll. Gurus of the Week are on the screen. So could you both tell us a little bit about your gurus this week?
Am I going first?
They're my guest.
You go first. You go first.
Oh.
You do it.
Oh, okay. So my guru is John Munsell. He's become a phenomenal resource. He's an AI, I almost want to call him a Jedi master. I'm not sure if you know him, Tom, but he runs a bi-weekly CXO roundtable that anybody could join. I'm happy to share the link either in the chat, or I can give it to you, Jesse. But really, it's artificial intelligence in marketing. It's a roundtable. He shares tips, he shares prompts, he shares ideas. It's basically a 1-hour workshop, hands-on, where everybody digs into how to use AI for marketing. And it's absolutely phenomenal.
I'm definitely going to follow him. Eric Taylor, he is a cybersecurity expert, and so if you're a small medium business and it could be manufacturing wherever, he's done over 3,000 digital forensic investigations and incident responses on somebody who's been hacked, lost their data, been ransomware. So what happens is people say, "Give me money," or we get rid of your data. You'd be surprised. You're probably going to pay something, but he helps negotiate that, helps you recover, make sure you get locked down. And he's done it over 3,000 times. He's done some big cases that have been featured on even cyber junkies. And I got to tell you, no one knows more about this than this guy. And Eric is an amazing human with an amazing story and family as well. Great person. But more importantly, if you ever get hacked, he is the guy you immediately call so you don't continue to get screwed. Because if you're a company and you think you've been hacked or been breached, you have time is not on your side. You need to call someone. Eric Taylor, which I believe it's linkedin.com/n/ransomware. That's the guy you want to go talk to. Eric Taylor, no doubt.
That's awesome. I actually haven't heard of either of them up until now. So thank you both for sharing them. I tagged them in the comments. That's what we like. We love expanding our community here. This is how we meet new people from Guru of the Week. So thank you both so much for sharing both of their names. Everyone go follow them, tag their name. Let's spam them. Let them know what Whiskey Wednesday is all about. And let's give away some prizes. Yes, thank you, Renee. And I hope you all will join for my masterclass next Wednesday at noon Eastern time. If you want to register, you can just head on over to reviting.com/masterclass. It's 1 hour, and we're going to be going over all of my marketing framework as well as my LinkedIn strategies. So just hop on in, let me know, send me a DM. But I'm going to give away some prizes. So let's give away prize 1, #marketing. It looks like we've got 6 entries. Here we go. Who's going to win 1 week of my program and Kiwi Writer? Who's the lucky winner? I think it's going to be, it can't be Reviting. We're going to draw that again. I accidentally put #marketing, I guess. Or one of us did. Let's retry that. Draw again. Here we go. Prize one. Just kidding. Don't pull Whiskey Wednesday. No. We want AP or Renee or Sarah or no, I apologize. We're going to draw that.
You're so good with yourself. That's 3 weeks you've given away to yourself.
I know. Well, we've got a lot of people helping us in the comments. So thank you, everybody. And when I put in marketing or we put in AP, you are the winner. And he's already in the program. So you know what, AP, we're going to give you a free week anyway, and you're going to get Kiwi Writer. So congratulations, AP. And man, he's an awesome student. Everybody go follow AP. He's doing some really awesome stuff. He's going to find himself a really great job. If you know anyone looking for an excellent salesperson who is growing on LinkedIn, check out AP. AP, keep on commenting. You're doing great stuff. Connect with more people. Let's give away prize 2, Cherry Assistant. Who's this one going to? Maybe AP is going to get that one too. Or maybe Renee. Or let's not do Whiskey Wednesday. It's Renee. Congratulations. But actually, Renee, I'm going to go ahead and redraw. I think the only other person in here is AP. Because Renee is with Cherry Assistant. So she can get 30.
By default.
We're going to give that one to you, AP, because I see that you're the only other person in there who isn't either with Cherry Assistant or Whiskey Wednesday. So congratulations, AP. You just won yourself 2 prizes. We're going to get into Luna.ai. But I think maybe I missed Buzzed Builder. So we'll get back to that. This one's Luna.ai, which was prize 4. And we've got Mark, AP. Who's getting it? Mark or AP? 3 months, Luna.ai, and some Grove cookies. AP, you're hitting that one too.
Oh my gosh.
Wow, you are lucky tonight. You need to go buy a lottery ticket. We're going to go ahead and do #email. Let's see. Who's going to get lavender? Lavender.
Oh my God, is it just going to be AP again?
Again.
I think it's AP. AP, I think you're winning. I don't know how the music just got really loud. I apologize.
AP says in the comments he's going to gift it to somebody.
I don't know.
Tis the season.
Just got so loud because I just muted it.
I'll tell you what, anybody who references it, I will let them not only get a 30-minute session, I'll let them gift one as well.
What?
So if they reference one, anybody who's did so AP and Mr. Mac. Do you like the
Mark
voice?
Mac.
I like that language. It's like kind of like, hey, I'm Mark Mac live from Florida.
He's a phone man.
I will gift it. I'll make it simple so they can both do it, and they can gift it to somebody else as well. But they just they have to both reference your show, and I will happily do that. I'll let them all win since there's not 2,000 people here, and I have enough time to do that. I will do that. I'll make time for that.
Wow. Well,
That's
that's
awesome.
awesome. Well, thank you so much. Thank you. If you guys didn't hear that in the comments, we may have to repeat that here in just a moment, but I'm going to go back and make sure we give away Buzz Builder, our prize 3. We've got AP again, Sarah and Carrie. AP, Sarah, or Carrie, who is winning prize 3 with
AP.
AP.
I think he won it last week too.
I think this is the sign that this is AP's time. I mean, he's really on a growth track. So,
And I'm feeling giving too. So you know what? Carrie has already won my course, I think. AP has it. Sarah, I will give it to you.
Sarah, congratulations. You're getting the Ruby Projects course. Yeah. Who's going to win the headset? We've got 5 entries here for Headset Advisor. I'm going to go ahead and put it in. Who's going to get it? Ooh, we've got Joanne. We've got, what is that noise? Got a dog.
That's my dog. Sorry, guys.
Hey. Congratulations. You're winning the headset. Yes.
Yay.
Yay. Yes. We love
I guess
that.
my dog's barking gave me good luck.
Thank you. We love dogs on this show. Are you in the comments? Do you have a dog? Send us a picture of your dog. We like to look at dog pictures. So let's see. Did we give away all our prizes? No, because we still have #sales. Who's going to win our guest prizes? So we've got, this is the one that had the most entries. Sarah, Nick, Renee, Mark, Sarah, Jamie, Carrie, Jamie, Renee, Nick Reed-Smith. Congratulations, Nick Reed-Smith. You are the winner of prize number 7. But I think let's just triple check. I think I gave them all away. I ran them all. Yes. So we have winners for all the prizes. Thank you, everyone, for coming. Thank you so much for being here, to our guests. And before we hop over to the after party, which is reveting.com/after party, for anyone who's able to stay up and hang out for another hour, we would love to meet you. But before we go, Joanne, can you just please let the audience know how they could reach you if they want to connect with you after the show?
Honestly, best place to find me is shockingly on LinkedIn, /IN/Joanne Gore 121. And if you want to know the significance of the 121, you're just going to have to read the book.
Yes. Thomas, and same for you. Can you let everyone know how they can reach you? But also, we're getting questions like, did Thomas just say everybody won all the prizes? So maybe a little clarification there.
Yeah, absolutely. So for the thing we were offering, which is a 30-minute strategy session, I'm happy anybody who took the time to be in the comments and like just find time with me. You can do this, just DM me through LinkedIn. So linkedin.com/n/Thomas Helfrich. And when you do, just reference in their connection request, if we're not connected, that, hey, I saw you on Whiskey Wednesdays. I'd love to do a strategy session, and I will make sure you get my private Calendly link, and I'll share that with you directly, and then we'll find time to talk soon. But just LinkedIn, look for Thomas Helfrich. You'll see my face in this little tie, and it'll be fun.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. I hope to see you at the after party. It's just reveting.com/after party where you can find us. And also, if you need to claim to win your prize and we don't have your information, you can just go to reveting.com/winner. And Renee will probably also reach out just to get your information. But again, you're running out of time to be a 2024 annual sponsor, and people are lining up. I mean, I don't know, this show's kind of turning into a big deal. I'm not trying to brag or anything, but we're helping businesses grow. We're getting people visibility. We're doing real work here. So if you want to get in front of salespeople, executives in a meaningful way with a micro community that gets together every Wednesday, but is also online together in a community when it's not Wednesday and talking, let's get in front of them. Let's get you in front of them. Let's get you some new customers. But thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you again to our guests. And I hope to see you over at the after party. I know, Joanne, it's after your bedtime, so I'm guessing you may not make it. But Thomas, how about you? Are you able to hop on over to the after party?
I will get over there for a little bit. I'm old. I'm 75 years old, but I look good. And I'll be over there.
I don't believe that for a second, but
You don't believe I
okay.
look good? Oh, we'll talk about it in the after
I
party. Okay,
mean,
that's fine.
I don't believe you're
I see how it
70
is.
years old, but I do believe you're a very handsome gentleman. I think everybody's going to want to come to the after party to see Thomas and his halfway tie. But yeah, I'm hopping over there. Thank you, everyone. I'm going to go ahead and close us out.
Thanks,
Until
Jessie. Thanks. Nice to meet y'all.
Thank you. Bye.
You know who made it.